Hey everyone, welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour, coming to you from the newly upgraded BronxNet studios, inviting you to get social with us online. That is, tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget, follow me on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. So, as we continue celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. And our first guest is the founder of the Asian Mental Health Project. And this project uses social media, multimedia content creation, and community events to destigmatize topics of mental health and critical social issues while providing tangible resources. And joining us to share more is Asian Mental Health Project founder, Carrie Zhang. Hello and welcome, Carrie.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. Wow, what an intro. That was so cool.
Well, it's wonderful to see where your focus is and by the same token, we are honoring Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So thank you for being here with us. But I really, really appreciate, on a personal note, that you've chosen to take on this task of just engaging in this conversation in whatever form it is that your platform is doing, which I would love for us to share with our viewers because I think it starts with just opening up and feeling safe in having that conversation and not feeling ostracized.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's sort of the crux of our project is to be the start of the conversation in a way that's super digestible and accessible. Our main platform is, in the main media platform we use is Instagram because that, has several users and it is a great way to synthesize and share information about mental health. So that's something that we definitely prioritize. And yeah, I really appreciate this platform. I think I was thinking back like a couple of years ago, we wouldn't have even had these conversations now, but because there is a wave of new media, there is the pandemic happens, people were looking inwards towards mental health. So we've personally seen a lot of growth because I think more people are realizing that this is a crisis. Mental health is, there's a lot of mental health issues right now. I think more than ever, I would say, and so we're here to be sort of on the forefront and help out people who particularly identify with the Asian space.
So just share with me exactly when this platform was founded and what inspired you personally. Is it something that you
Yeah.
were going through and you wanted to expand outward?
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially exactly that. I started it in 2019. It was, I think, little bit a year after I graduated college. I had realized that I had gone through a series of like traumatic events in college that led me to essentially be forced into mental health care. I didn't want to seek therapy. I didn't want to do medication. I didn't want to do all these things. But because I sort of made a joke to my doctor about things that had happened to me, they immediately like sent me to the Relationship and Sexual Violence Prevention Center, where I received like pretty very consistent, like very frequent mental health care that I just like wasn't prepared for. So after I'd gone through that cycle, graduated college, I was reflecting. I was like, oh my God, whoa! Like I feel like a lot of the things I had gone through could have been better mitigated or managed or identified at a younger age had I had the vocabulary and ability and felt comfortable talking about it within my own family, within my own spaces. Just because as I'm sure many folks are aware, mental health is very taboo in Asian cultures. One, because of cultural stigma, but also because of language barrier. It's extremely hard for me. My parents, they speak Mandarin and a little bit of Taiwanese, and I couldn't express how I felt in those languages because I just wasn't well versed enough in those areas.
And
So
you,
after that, yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
No, 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 no. Keep going. Keep going. No, because when you mentioned how the stigma within your culture, and I just wonder, like, to what extent, aside from the language barriers that you just referenced, is it something that's a taboo?
Yeah, it is definitely taboo. I think especially for people, we have a like very like immigrant, like gotta work hard, keep your head down, don't question anything. You should be very grateful to be here. Therefore, you need to perform really well in this country, that kind of mentality. And any like deviation from that, that linear path is wrong. So like for example, if I was growing up and I was doing, let's just say, homework, right? If I was feeling really stressed and wanted to cry, but it was taking away from me doing this productive thing, that would be, sort of frowned upon. There's a concept in Chinese, it's called saving face. And that's like, when you save your face, means it means you have to always like keep up a smiling image. You gotta
Well, how
keep
do you
moving
say it in
forward.
Mandarin? How do you, and I know what you mean. It's a disciplinary act. So how do you say it in Mandarin?
It's just 面子. It's like that means your face. And
Means?
what?
How do you say it?
面子.
Mienzi.
Yeah, 面子.
Yeah. Now I wanted to learn because again, these are cultural practices that I think we should share with the world because we all have certain things, and of course the language. I mean, that's the beauty of being in New York is that we all get to exchange that difference and find our similarities. And so I also wanted to ask, like, what kind of success have you experienced and witnessed in providing this platform? Like, how many people are part of it, and what kind of, I guess, agendas you put together, and how are the resources? How do the resources become accessible to anybody who partakes?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, one, in terms of like measuring success, it was a little bit hard because it's like, how do you measure whether or not
Well,
something is
I
helpful?
don't mean success,
Yeah.
success. I mean in the sense of like the impact that it's having. You know what
Oh,
I mean? Because we're in it. We're in it. We're all in this together, and we're all going through it. So forgive me for the interruption, but I probably shouldn't have used the word success because this is an
no, no,
ongoing this is an ongoing process.
no, I feel like it makes so much sense. I think things that we patterns that I noticed that indicated that this is like a really necessary space is every time something tragic happened in the world, pandemic, anti-Asian hate crimes, racism, like in other communities as well, we would get an influx of followers, which was like a weird phenomenon to me because I was like, why, why are we getting like I felt so bad because like it felt like we were gaining traction as horrible things are happening in the world. But that's then I sort of realized, oh, it's because people need spaces to process these terrible things with people that relate to them and have like an innate understanding there. And so one of the consistent services that we provide is called Stay and Check-in. It is a weekly wellness check-in that happens every Wednesday, and we've been doing it for the last 2 years. It started, with COVID because we needed a place to literally stay in and check in.
Is it
And right now it's just
bilingual?
no, no, it's just in English. We would love to expand, but right now it's just in English right now. And people can come in. The first half of the session is like an open share, so like you can come in, like you could talk whatever you want. If you're feeling some sort of way, you can unpack it. It's a space, it's peer led. And then the second half of the space, we try to bring in a mental health professional or some kind of wellness practitioner to talk about a topic of their choice. Like it provides an educational opportunity, just because like when else do you get to talk to someone who is, who unpacks intergenerational trauma for a living, but for free. So we offer these services for free. And recently we expanded to having an Asian men's wellness group, just because, the culture with masculinity is
Right.
that you don't really
It,
have feelings.
oh well, thanks for bringing that up too. That's a whole nother topic for a whole
Oh,
nother
that's
day.
so many things. Oh my God.
No, 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 no. I know, but it's just that we're running out of time. But I love the fact that you've just taken on this role to just hold the space for additional individuals to also find their mental wellness. And my last thing, because they're wrapping me up, is do you have to be Asian to be a part of this membership?
No, not at all. I mean, we generally a lot of our topics are Asian focused
Right.
topics, so that's that caveat. But
Got it.
we can listen in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, just out of curiosity because yeah, again, going back to culture and understanding like similarities in the upbringing and destigmatizing certain language and aside from the language barriers, just the language in which could stop us from moving forward, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's important to continue to build language and build accessible ways to talk about these sort of things. Yeah.
Wonderful. And thank you for bringing it here to us and sharing it with our viewers. Everyone, that is Carrie Zhang of Asian Mental Health. She is the founder. If you're interested in participating, visit AsianMentalHealthProject.com. And you can also visit them on Instagram at Asian Mental Health project. We do have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear about Casita Maria's 11th annual South Bronx Culture Festival. Don't go anywhere.